Green.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. Hello there, can everybody hear me okay? I hope you can. I'm Jason Warner. I'm a Raising Standards leader at Woolwich Polytechnic. So I'm going to talk to you about RAP meetings, okay? So as a caring school, as a school that places the well-being of students and their outcomes, their aspirations at the centre of everything we do, the RAP meetings are a really big part of our overall strategy to do that. So what's a RAP? As Mark said there, some of us are going to know what one is. We might use them in some of our schools, and some of us won't know what they are at all. So I'll talk to you about what a RAP is, first of all. So is it a meeting where we discuss our favourite rappers of all time? That would be great for me, but it's not one of those, okay? It's a Raising Attainment and Progress meeting, okay? So that's what it stands for. And as you can see on the image on the right, it's bringing teachers together into a room to have a discussion around individual student outcomes. Okay, so our jobs would be very easy if teaching was one size fits all, but teaching is anything but one size fits all, and the strengths, the weaknesses, the barriers to learning can be very individual. So RAP meetings are all about taking an individual student, placing them at the center of the meeting and discussing what can be done to accelerate their rate of progress and maximize their attainment. So it's a forum, it's bringing teachers together to discuss these students in real time, and very often as a result of a RAP meeting, actions will kick into gear immediately and will start solving problems and moving students on straight away. So that truly is one of the biggest powers I believe a RAP meeting offers. And you know, teachers are the experts. Teachers are the experts on students. So when you bring a group of teachers together in a room to discuss a student's position and how well they're achieving or not, the solution 9 times out of 10 is going to come from that room. It's going to come from the collaboration and the synergy that you get when you place all of those experts in a room together. Right, so I'm going to discuss RAP meetings in terms of the 3 Ps. So as a business and economics teacher, I've been teaching the 4 Ps for a long time, but for me, RAPs can be discussed in terms of 3 Ps. So the first one is the purpose, why have them. So the first thing to know is that they're not a silver bullet solution to progress. They're part of an overall strategy for progress. So you've got to get your teaching right, your assessment right, you know, all of the bread and butter core elements of education have to be right, but RAPs add a lot of value as a strategy for some of the reasons I've already said. Our school, our MAT, PolyMAT, we're all about a vision of success for all. Okay, so RAP meetings by their nature place some of our most vulnerable students at the center of our discussions because generally speaking, we're speaking about students that need a boost the most. And a lot of the time, they're going to be students that are underachieving for a whole myriad of reasons. And it's an opportunity to really put those vulnerable, most in need students at the center of our priorities. As a school, we use data a lot. We're blessed with an incredibly effective data manager that produces an abundance of really useful performance data. RAP meetings combine the quantitative data that is collated and presented on a journey, student's journey, and it combines that information with qualitative data, qualitative rich information that comes from the experience of professionals. So again, the synergy that you get when you combine the quantitative, the journey, the story of the journey with the qualitative can be incredibly powerful. The next P is the process. So, you know, how do we come up with a RAP meeting week to week? So myself as an RSL, I'll sit down with the data manager on a Monday and we'll produce a sheet, kind of like the one that you can see on screen there. And that's an individual student's learning journey over a period of time. It's their journey in terms of their numerical progress or lack of thereof. This was for a year 11 student. We could see that he's set to underachieve without intervention, but some of this information also tells us that this is a student that responds well. Okay, this is a high effort student. So we'll sit down, we'll have a discussion, and we'll put together the information. Next, we'll share that information with heads of department and classroom teachers, so they can now go ahead and look at the priorities that they think are important for that particular student based on a number of questions that are specified for their subject area. The next part of the process is meeting the student. So again, as the RSL, I will sit down with the students in question and we'll have a discussion. We'll get their input, their feelings, their thoughts as to why they're in the position they're in. We're going to ask them where their confidence levels are in various subjects. I want to find out if they're more confident in one area of the curriculum, why that is. Okay, are they getting a diet of learning or a diet of teaching strategies that are more suitable to their learning style, for instance? That can really be helpful when informing the wider meeting. So once I've sat with the data manager, put together the information, shared it, met with the students, the next stage of the process is the meeting itself. So for year 11, who I mainly work with, we'll meet on a Wednesday at 8 AM, and that's when teachers come together in the room and talk out strategies that work best for each student. So we had one today, very well attended. You can see the image in the bottom right. There's only a few of us in that one, but it's usually a lot more teachers around the table than that. And we had some really in-depth forensic discussions around student need, and that leads us to the follow-up. So post the RAP meeting, the head teacher, so Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Plum, will often meet with the students in question, and that they'll feed back the key points from the meeting to the students. So they're brought into the loop, and I, as the RSL, will make sure that that departments, individual members of staff are implementing the strategies that have been put forth and discussed in that meeting. Okay, so it's like a 5-stage process that repeats week after week, placing different groups of students under the spotlight. So effectively, the student becomes the chairperson of their very own meeting. The final P of the 3 Ps is the power. Okay, so the power of RAP meetings. So when we put all of the above together, what are the outcomes and how does it feed into us again as a caring school? So RAP meetings bring together teachers, it brings together the experts, and that can be different specialists, from heads of department to our Senko, to pastoral leaders, all who have a different perspective on that student's journey, and a different perspective that is equally in importance as well. Real-time problem solving is another power of a RAP meeting. So instead of waiting to a set of results come out, we're actually doing a pre-mortem. We're preempting what can go wrong, and we're solving a problem. We're putting a solution in place now rather than later. Okay, so again, following a RAP meeting, you really see the wheels of motion kick into gear, and lots of professionals really hone in on that problem. No student is left behind. The nature of RAP meetings is that we'll try and cover every student in the year group across an academic period of time, an academic year, for instance. We will prioritize the ones that need it most, but our main aim really is to ensure that any student who needs that sort of forensic discussion receives the benefits of it, and hopefully their progress picks up as a result. Yeah, so I've used the word forensic a few times, and I think that's been a word that Ofsted, in fact, used to describe our RAP process in the past. And I think we had a visitor today that, again, was really impressed with the way we use information, the way we use data, the way we analyze it, and the actions that come forth off the back of that analysis. Again, the synergy of putting together qualitative and quantitative information. And finally, probably most importantly for me, is it's making the most of our experts. It's making the most of our teaching staff. It's empowering them to be involved in decision-making processes around students, and it's also empowering them to take action, to really get things done. So, you know, as a caring school, there are a number of ways that manifests, but I think a key way our care for our students manifests is the detail and the level of scrutiny we place on each student's progress and attainment. Okay, that is the end of my presentation. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free.
Hi, Jason. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
There is a little bit of an echo, I think, coming through from me at your end. So we might have to sort of switch between muting and unmuting. But I do have a couple of questions that I want you to answer for me, if you would. The first is, obviously you mentioned year 11 is your main focus, but the RAP meetings themselves happen with other year groups as well, is that right?
Yes, RAP meetings happen in other year groups. So since COVID, our key priority for RAPs has been the examination groups. Pre-COVID, we actually had RAPs at one stage for all year groups, and we're not quite back to that capacity to have RAPs for all year groups. But to add to year 11 and 13, we have now introduced in year 10 and year 12. You know, in the last couple of weeks. So, you know, 4 year groups, regular meetings, and you know, hopefully as we recover from the pandemic, we get back to full staffing levels more consistently, we can really consider bringing them back for all year groups.
And what advice would you give to, say, primary colleagues or colleagues in further education that might be watching this session?
Yeah, I'd say, you know, get buy-in from your staff. You know, if your staff realise why they're getting in a little bit earlier, you know, why you're adding to their workload a little bit with RAP meetings and the power it can have. Once you've got everyone on board, like I think, you know, as a PolyMAT, as an organisation, we really have got all of our staff members on board with this, it becomes incredibly powerful. The second piece of advice I'd give is to get a really good data manager, because that really does inform what you should be talking about at any given time, and it keeps things really streamlined and focused and efficient.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jason.